You said this is one of the best classes you've signed. What makes this one different than the other ones, and are you willing to say it's the best at this point?
I think it's a combination of, I remember our 14 class, star-wise, our 14 class was probably the best to this point. And any guys been following recruiting back then. But the 15 class produced more, I think, guys that contributed and were good players. And I think it's a combination of both, star power and guys that's going to play, that can come in and play as freshmen. This is probably the most I've seen where we signed up front, and that's where you win in this league with O-linemen and D-linemen. I think we signed, I don't know, it's like about nine or 10 combined O-linemen, D-linemen, 4 or 5 stars. So that was huge. I mean, that's when you start getting up there and you can compete with all them other guys in the league that I think we started to catch. And still got about one more school, I believe, on our side to catch before we start saying that we arrived and we can play with these guys.
What is a good success rate for a class? I mean, for as far as percentage-wise, if you had to just put a number on it, for guys to, because it's hard to expect 100%.
Meaning as guys coming in and playing, or? Well, I think we to the point now where we don't need a lot of guys to come in and play. I thought our last year class was pretty good, and I want to say we redshirted about 90% of that class, and them guys are now going to be redshirt freshmen ready to go. This class is unique though because there are some good players that I believe that can play as freshmen. So, you'll never know until 2 or 3 years down the line. I look at our 15 class, and that's probably been our most successful class because I was just talking to Justin Rigg and saying he's been going to a bowl game since he's been here. And I remember CJ and them guys missed it. I think we were like 5 and 7 and 15, and then they went to 3 straight bowls. So I think our 15 class, you see now 3 years later, I can say was pretty good. I still think the 14 class was good, just for the fact that that's when we started kicking in doors and signing them 4 and 5 star guys, and people really was taking a look at us saying, wow, what are them guys doing down there? Now it's a norm when we go in there and we sign, it's not normal. I mean, it's not surprising us that we signed, I think, 15 4 stars. So 15 or 14, that's what you got to do, to win in this league. And so you ask me about this class probably 3 years from now, then I know. Maybe we had won a championship by then, and I said they were the best class.
Coach,
So.
we ask you every year about your diamond in the rough. You 100% with Josh. You've gotten some right last year with Sean Kelly, not so much. But who do you got this year?
Oh man, you brought that up. This year, There's so many good players in this class. But if I would say, and I don't even know if he's going to be a diamond in the rough, but probably Isaiah Cummins, a guy who can play as a freshman. When I say diamond in the rough, a guy who probably can come in and play as a freshman. He's not a loud talking guy. I don't know how. I mean, you've seen him. He's one of the prettiest looking dudes, and he's very quiet. But I just think this kid is something about him. I know Coach Smith we just were talking. He was like, something about him. He's probably the closest guy that's closer to a mod that we can say, okay, let's throw the 50-50 ball up to and he can go get it. So I'm gonna be excited about how his progress as he keeps going and further.
What does Louisville and then kind of the state at large look like in this next class?
It's pretty good. Coach, I can say Octavia School, it's kind of strange because a lot of them kids didn't grow up, born in Kentucky because their parents probably was in the Army. But there's some. I know right offhand, there's 6, 7 guys that we must get in this class next year from the state of Kentucky. And I say 6 of them probably are national guys. And high school football is getting real good in Kentucky now. I mean, it's just better. The coaches are better, and the kids are. I mean, dude, I look at our team and you look at our roster, and forgive me if I say I use Kentucky as being a part of the North, but I say when you look at our roster, it's 80% North because I say Kentucky kids, Kentucky, Ohio, Michigan, you go Maryland and all that. But the Kentucky football players and the development of them these last couple of years has really been big for us. And it's some real good players next year. There's some real good players. And soon when I get out of here, I'm gonna be hitting a lot of them up, because now, this one went down to the end. Like Coach Steve said, Big Ox took me down to the end, man, and It got real chippy with some other schools, and we always gonna stay positive. A lot of schools, negative. We don't have to. Our play speaks for us now. So I think somebody asked Coach Stoops a question like, "How do we recruit now?" We lose our third quarterback and we still win 7 games. Got a chance to win 8. I think we don't lose Terry Wilson. I think we really, and I really do believe we tend to, you just never know. But so I like where we at. I like where the recruits recruiting this state is going to keep getting better and better.
Was the plan always to take 2 quarterbacks, or did you guys just view Gateway as someone who was too good to pass up if you could get him?
Well, it's kind of like, Bo was a quarterback of our class, and we had enough respect for Bo that we conversated with him before, we started talking with Joey. But it's kind of like in basketball. You may say, hey, I ain't going to take another basketball player. I got my team, and here comes the 7-footer walking by, and he's got eligibility. And that's how we looked at Joey. Joey was a very highly recruited kid and very driven young man. And I just think the situation, like Stu said, happened at Auburn, but he's here now, and we just couldn't, like you said, we couldn't pass up on that. And I think they're going to be 2 or 3 years apart, whether you redshirt someone or something like that. But, we're glad to have them both. But to show the respect we have for Bo, we actually conversated with Bo, hey, this is what, kind of like getting the permission, this is kind of what we're going to do. But the respect of Joey's a good football player. And I really believe Joey Galloway is going to help us a lot.
Did Bo's reaction tell you anything about kind of the competitor?
Told me what type of guy he was. We asked him a couple times, and he looked at us like on the 3rd time. He's like, "Dude, this is football. I'm ready to compete. I'm ready." And you want that in a player, but you definitely want that in a quarterback. And it just told me I actually have more respect for Bo with that, because it could have been, when you hear through especially the way we were playing at quarterback, not throwing the ball because of the injuries and all that. That could have been easy for him to say, but he was stern what he wanted to do, and our relationship was good with him, and he's a competitor, man. I don't know if you guys ever interviewed Bo. Bo's a competitor. He really is a competitor, and I think he's going to look for the challenge, whoever we brought him here.